We're here at the Lev HaTorah Matzah Baking Factory, Baruch Hashem, here in the Yeshiva. Unfortunately for me, I'm not able to eat this. It's after Rosh Chodesh already. But I wanted all the Talmidim to take a feel of Pesach here in the Yeshiva. Baruch Hashem, getting ready with many chaburas that are making matzah. I want to prepare ourselves also for the Seder, and almost before I even get to the Haggadah, I want to get to the importance, as we've spoken about before, of minhagim, of songs, of everything that takes place during the Haggadah has such significance. The first thing that most families do before the very important minhag to bless the family, the important minhag, of course, we should follow to bless our children, to be blessed by our fathers, and that's, of course, the night that the blessings of Yaakov came. So it's a very important night for that. So we know Leil Shimurim. But also on top of that, many families sing the Kadesh, Urchatz, Karpas, Yachatz. They sing all these beautiful simonim, as we call it, of the Haggadah itself. These are very important to sing. We should understand how amazing, how lucky, how fortunate we are that every little minhag, every little song, there's a makar for it. So what is this? What is the deeper meaning here? Why do we sing? What other holiday do we have where we start to announce, oh, we're about to go into the sukkah? Okay, here we go. Here's the song for sukkahs. We don't do that. So why? So if you look at the amount of simanim that we have, there are 15 simanim in the Haggadah. 15 simanim. So Rav Meir Goldvich loves to say this word over, this idea. 15 is also the same Shem Hashem, the Yud and the Hey. Min Ametza Karasi Yah. That we call out from the depths. And that's, of course, in Mitzrayim, what Bnei Yisrael finally did. The last cracks, the last scream that they gave, and Hashem took them out of Mitzrayim so amazingly with the Nisim and the flows that we saw. But I think it's much more than that. It's not just that. It's what the Yud and Hey represent. We know the famous Gemara. The Gemara tells us in Menachos. It's quoted by Rashi, which we'll get to a little bit later. But Rashi quotes us on the pasuk of Bihi Baram in Parshas Bereshis. The Gemara Menachos says on Chavtes Amud Beis, gives the whole idea of the world was created with the Yud and the Hey, coming from the pasuk in Yeshayahu, Surah Olamim, that the world was created with the letter Yud and Hey. Yud symbolizes the atid, right? As we know in grammar, it's the when it's put in front of a letter, so it will be for the future. The Hey is when you say Hadavar, this thing, it's for now, it's for the present. It's where the present and the future meet, and I think, of course, that's the Hagat Levincha B'Yomahu. It's where the present, where this generation meets the next generation, meets the children. The whole focus of the Seder must be on the Hagat Levincha B'Yomahu. It's hard to say this. How can a rabbi even say such scandalous things? But it's not, the Seder isn't to tell over the best vort that you have and to go over it and to say it and to go, and then everybody else at the table is not following along because you have this 20-minute vort that you were able to figure out. No, it's that fathers and sons should be telling over the story, question and answers back and forth. That's what the Seder is. It's to take this message over to the next generation. It's the Yud and the Hey finally combining. It's interesting because that is what the Gemara said. The Gemara says that this world was created with Hey and the future world will be created with the Yud. Our hope, of course, and why we spend a lot of time focusing on Eliyahu Hanavi, we focus on a lot of the things that the Seder focuses on, the egg, and focus on the future, L'shan haba b'Yushalayim. Why? Because we want that Yud to come back. We want the Asit, the Latid Lavo, to come very, very quickly. The Yud is the focus of the next generation, but of course more than that. It's the world to come. It's where we want to be. And so we want to focus on that. But I think we need another idea here to bring out. And that is, okay, but what's the personal message for us? What can we understand from this Yud and the Hey? And I think this is a beautiful idea. The idea, Rav Aaron Soloveitchik said, again, we quoted the Rashi. Rashi says, if you look at the pasuk of Bihi Baram, so we know the Hey is much larger. So Rashi quotes the Gemara Menachos and elaborates on the Gemara as well. But the Gemara is so beautiful because it says, no, we don't read it Bihi Baram, but B'Yud Hey Baram. That Hashem created it with the Yud and the Hey, as we mentioned before. But Rav Aaron says, well, let's understand what the Hey and the Yud really are. I told you before that the Hey defines the now, right? HaShulchan. This is Shulchan. This is mine. This is my personal. And the Yud, as we said, is the future, but it's really the Klal. Is working with others. Is doing for the Tzibor. Is as we said, the Atid. What am I doing? Very good. I'm working on myself, but what am I doing? When we got out of Mitzrayim, so we know that we became Avodim to the Ribbono Shel Olam. We're supposed to be Eved Hashem. We know that is the focal point. When we say the beautiful songs that we sing in Hallel, that's Ani Abdecha Bein Amasecha. That is so important for us to understand that but what is Avdus? What does it mean? What are we taking from the Seder? What is the message? So I think that is the message. Not only to give it over to future generations, it's about us. What are you doing personally to increase your avodas Hashem? What am I doing as an Eved Hashem to become higher and higher in love, to get closer and closer to Hashem? Number one. But number two, what am I doing for the Klal? What am I doing for the Yud? What am I doing for Olam Haba? What am I doing to be Matakin Olav and Malchut Shaddai? What am I doing? What am I focusing on? That's what the Seder is about as well. And that's very, very important for us to concentrate on. A last idea based on everything that we've said, to end it off beautifully, I don't think there's a machlokes, but if you look at the Rambam's idea of the Seder plate, again, another amazing minhag that we all follow, and we're very careful with what goes on the Seder plate. So the Rambam and the Shulchan Aruch don't seem to agree, which is interesting because we know the Rambam, the Shulchan Aruch generally takes the Rambam's words very, very seriously. He says that we have the zecher that we have, so he says that we have two pieces of meat. So we don't follow this minute. We have a zecher le-korban Pesach, and what do we do, says the Shulchan Aruch? We have an egg. Where did this minute come to have an egg? So there are many different beautiful ideas. The Kotzker Rebbe, I think, has a beautiful idea of why dafka the egg, why we use the egg. So one of the ideas we know is because of Velus, and we know the idea of the world is round, and as Yimalos Chog Pinu, that we will laugh one day when Mashiach comes, when we combine the Yud and Hey together, because we will be able to see the future and we'll understand why everything happened. The other ideas of the Kotzker is what the egg represents. We know the egg is the potential of life, right? From the yolk itself should have been a baby chick. And what is the white that's around it? The white that's around it was what nurtured it, right? So the white around it is the Olam Hazeh. This is what we do today, right? A person has to eat, a person has to drink. I have to do for myself. But the yolk is the potential of what it could be. And that we have to focus on as well. That's the idea, again, of the Seder. We are the ones that are responsible for our children. And those Talmidim in the yeshiva, so it's hard to think about it, but it's time to think about it. What our actions are at a Seder is for our future generations, even if we don't have the future generations in front of us now. And the way that we act, the way that we bring our Seder forth, is where we are. We're building for that yoke, for that future, Mitzvah Hashem. And understand the great potential for this night. There isn't even a Magen Avram that quoted a halacha that we don't, Leil Shimun, forget about locking the doors even. Unless you live in a place that's very dangerous. But the idea is that this is the night that Eliyahu HaNavi could come. One of the reasons, very interesting, the Sefer Okeh quotes, is that this is the night that Eliyahu HaNavi, and we have to have such belief that he'll come. We can't lock the door. What, we want Eliyahu HaNavi to start knocking on the door? I know he's going to come tonight, so we leave the doors open. Okay, I'm not suggesting this, halacha l'maaseh, but the idea is there. This is the night of Mashiach. The Yud and the Hey combine itself. The Yigat Levincha B'Yom Hahu, Mirz Hashem, we should be zoicha to see the Yud and Hey mamish combining, the Olam Hazeh and Olam Haba combining, so we can see Mashiach Tzidkenu, so that you can come join us at this, making these matzahs, Mirz Hashem, very, very soon, all together in a chabura that, of course, will be up in Yerushalayim, Ir HaKodesh. We promise you, we will bring this. Rav Mo has given me permission. We will take this matzah oven and we'll take it up to Yerushalayim with us. We'll together in a chabura, we'll eat the Korban Pesach. We should be zeichet to see it, and we should be able to eat from the zvachim, pesachim very, very soon in our day. Amen.
אני שמח בזה שאני משמח את השם. אני שמח בזה שאני משמח את השם. סוס עסיס בהשם, סוס עסיס בהשם, סוס עסיס בהשם, סוס עסיס בהשם. אני שמח בזה שאני משמח את השם. אני שמח בזה שאני משמח את השם.